So hello guy, welcome to my channel. Hope you will be fine. In this video I will tell you the story of Naruto married with Sasuke female. Hope you will like this video. And please press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel and also share with your friend. Chapter 7. If you let go of me, I can return the favor. Suki murmurs. Wait what? Naruto looks at her in shock as he blushes about 10 shades of red. It's only fair. The last Uchiha points out, and privately she was a bit amused at how suddenly bashful Naruto was. You don't have to. It's not like there's a scoreboard or anything. Naruto wouldn't stop blushing. Your chivalry is touching, really. I'm not Hinata though. I don't need it. She saunters off, casting a look over her shoulder at him as she heads to her room. Wait, what's that supposed to mean? The blonde demands as he follows her. Just what it sounds like. Suki sits on the bed, crossing her stunning creamy legs in such a way that Naruto got a good look at her choice in undergarments. Silk white tiger pattern today. I don't know if that's a slam against Hinata or if you were jealous. Obviously, the lovable idiot was having a hard time reading her. It's a slam against your perfect pretty little princess. Suki wasn't proud of it, but she was now half snarling. Whoa, you're really jealous. The blue-eyed ninja blinks. I'm not jealous. Suki scoffs and grabs Naruto, pinning him to the bed. Yes, you are. Naruto couldn't help but laugh. I'm not. I can do something she can't. She smirks. What's that? The blonde gulped when he saw her sharing and spinning in annoyance. Maybe provoking her wasn't a good idea. Touch you without fainting. Suki informs him and yanks off his pants with one swift tug. Hey, easy there. Naruto cries out. Since when have things ever been easy between us? She taunts him. Well, you got a point there. He mutters. Warning lime. Good. Lose the boxers or I will burn them. She informs him. Whoa. Naruto decides that he did not want fire that close to his equipment under any circumstances, slides them off. Suki tries not to blush or stare. Honestly, she'd never really seen a naked man before in the flesh, other than Suijitsu. She didn't count that. He was naked in the tank. It wasn't like he flashed her on purpose. Naruto though was a lot bigger than Suijitsu. The water lover she knew from Kabuto's medical notations was considered above average. Yes, she borrowed Kabuto's texts once. She wanted to figure out who would prove most useful in killing Itachi. That hadn't gone the way she planned, but she had learned a lot about anatomy, particularly male anatomy that she hadn't known before, so it wasn't a complete loss. Tell me if you like it or not. She takes him into good hand. She'd never actually done this before. Suki wasn't as innocent as Naruto. She'd walked in on a few embarrassing situations in the Sound, and she had seen enough adult films to get the general idea. Still, seeing something and actually doing it yourself were two completely different things. Naruto just nods. He wasn't sure what got into Suki. At first, he thought she was only offering out of some sense of fairness. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, type of thing. Well, more specifically, you give me an orgasm, I give you one ... I in this case. This was Suki though, so nothing could ever be that simple. She'd made that crack about Hinata. She was actually jealous. Really jealous. Was it wrong that that made him happy? Probably. If the last Uchiha actually got angry, Hinata was a goner and he didn't want his friend to die. Then Suki began moving her hand and all rational thought vanished. Suki glides her hand over his length, gently at first. She wasn't really sure how sensitive he was. He was so warm to the touch though, and if his erection was any indication, Naruto was enjoying himself so far. Fuck. He hisses and bucks into her hand. Instinctively, her hands were cool and soft, like silk. They felt so much better than his own. She was barely touching him and he already felt like he was going to climax in her hand. God, he was pathetic. This might never happen again. He should at least try to make it last as long as possible. You hiss like a snake when you are turned on, I notice. She rubs her hand along his arousal a little bit faster. Juice ain't don't stop. That feels really good. He pants and bucks into her hand. I can tell. You are throbbing against my hand. She reminds him and brushes her thumb against the tip. Suki, he growls. I'm not sure if that was as an oh Suki or please do that again Suki. She feigns confusion and does it again. Naruto at this point was tempted just to grab her. The blonde was considering yanking those silk panties off and just driving into her. It felt so good. He wanted more. He was so close. At the same time though, as badly as he wanted to come, he didn't want it to be over. You're holding back. That's not like you, scaredy cat. She taunts him just like she had his genin. That made Naruto snap. Suki's sassy mouth always did. Just now it was in a different way. He grabs her and rolls her until she was underneath him. The blonde was gratified to hear a startled eep from her. He looked down at her. How the hell had he not done this before? She was beautiful. The fact that she was only wearing her shirt and panties, so he could see her lovely long legs, only excited him more. Naruto debates about just yanking the rest of her clothes off. Suki didn't seem to have a problem with threatening his clothes, but he decided against it. He didn't want to startle her. He settles for kissing her. Suki moans into the kiss and reaches down, continuing to stroke him. Naruto groans into the kiss. The blonde punishes her with his tongue for teasing him. Damn it, he wanted to make this last longer, but it just felt so good. He could feel her soft, warm breasts against his chest even if there were 2 layers of clothing separating them. Her legs sliding against his. The taste of her kiss and her hands around his arousal was just too much. He spirals over the edge. And Lime, your range is impressive. Suki blinks. A few minutes later, after they had both come down from the high that came with being together. Naruto blushes deeply at that. How would she even know? It wasn't like she had more experience in this stuff than he did. How do you know that? I might have read some educational texts and watched some erotic movies. I just wanted to make sure that I was good at it. She sounded really embarrassed to Naruto. You know, good at being with someone. It was for clan restoration purposes. Oh well, that makes sense. I never figured you to be someone who would be insecure about stuff like that or anything really. You don't need to worry though. You were amazing. The blonde says. Thanks. She blushes and looks away. Anytime so. Naruto wasn't sure what to say after all that. I'll go undo the laundry. Suki blushes. Good idea. He agrees and watches her leave with the sheets in her arms. Damn it. What do I do now? Naruto sighs at the thought. This was confusing. Did he go after her? Well, maybe she wanted some time alone to think. What were they now anyway? Friends didn't touch each other like that. But they weren't lovers. Meanwhile, Suki was having similar thoughts. She threw their clothes and blankets into the washing machine. What was she supposed to do now? What the hell had she been thinking? Oh right, she hadn't been thinking. Naruto had just pounced. So naturally, she responded. She shivers remembering the warmth of his touch and the sounds he made when she touched him. It was all so intense, but that was just who they were. Why did she ever imagine that intimacy with him would be anything but the whirlwind that fighting him was? Finally, Naruto gathers up his courage to go see her. He needed more time to figure out something to say. The blonde knew if he said one stupid thing, it probably wasn't going to happen again. As confusing as it was to have these desires for his best friend, he wanted it to. And he really didn't want to hurt Suki's feelings and make her feel self-conscious about her seduction skills. Hey, I just remembered that Kakashi needed me for something. So I'll be back later. Okay, he calls out. All right, Suki answers. She wasn't sure whether to be relieved or hurt that he was leaving immediately after. But she was being a hypocrite. She knew that. The first thing she had done afterwards was use the sheets as an excuse to get away from him. The last Uchiha needed time to think. She couldn't blame Naruto for being the same way. He wasn't going to see Kakashi. It was a lie and they both knew it, but she wasn't going to call him out on it. She nods as he leaves. I shouldn't have lied to her. Naruto mutters once he's out of the Uchiha district. He wasn't going to see Kakashi, but he was going to see another cage. So maybe that made it slightly less of a lie. No, he knew he was rationalizing. But still he couldn't help it. He'd never lied to her before. It made him feel sick. He didn't want to do it again. But it was just a white lie. It wasn't going to hurt anyone. Gaara. He knocks on the door of the hotel room Gaara was staying in. The redhead opens the door. He lets Naruto in despite the hour. He raises an eyebrow as if to say, well, I screwed up. Well, I think I did anyway, or I'm about to. I don't know what to do. He admits. What happened? The Kazekage asks. It's a long story, but I got excited. Suki left. So I was ... you know. Naruto trails off. Naruto, everyone does it. You can say the word. The redhead rolls his eyes at his friend's innocence. Right, but she came back. I didn't notice at first because I was distracted and she was in the hall. I was in my room, but I guess she heard everything. He mutters. If you are living with someone, this type of thing is bound to happen sooner or later. I'm sure she understands that. Gaara offers consolingly. Well, Kyuubi noticed her. She got aroused from overhearing everything, according to him. Naruto blushes. Oh, so what did you do? The redhead looks at him in amazement. I pushed her against the wall, said some things, and I touched her. The blonde mutters. You touched her. The redhead sounded rather stunned that Suki had allowed such a thing, and well, frankly, so was Naruto. Yeah, she liked it, but then she wanted to return the favor. She got jealous about Hinata, but it felt good. Naruto finishes lamely. In conclusion, you're both idiots who have no idea how to communicate that you find each other desirable. Gaara summarizes. Hey, Naruto protests. You two make everything far too complicated. You are attracted to her, right? The Kazekage asks. Definitely. Naruto agrees. And she's attracted to you. The redhead continues. I guess so, otherwise she wouldn't have. The blonde starts to explain, but Gaara cuts him off. Yes or no will be sufficient. You both agreed to get married. You've both proven time and time again that you would die for each other. I don't see the problem. You want her. She wants you. The Kazekage finishes. Yeah and yeah. It's just ... you know we've been friends for so long. Suki has trusting people. He rubs the back of his head nervously. She didn't seem to have any trouble trusting you when she grabbed your. Forget I said that. You get the point. The Kazekage sighs. Yep, got it. I still don't want to push too hard. She might leave again. Naruto looks at his feet. You have real abandonment issues with her. You two are going to have to talk about that. The other man shakes his head. Well, she said she wasn't going to, Naruto says. But you don't believe her. Gaara says, I don't know. She's left twice before. I mean the second time she came back willingly. But it still hurts. The blonde admits. I know, but I'm not the one you need to talk about this. Gaara places his hand on his shoulder. I know. It's terrifying. What if she regrets it? He asks. Naruto, I am not a marriage counselor. I'm your friend. I love you. The other man sighs heavily. Gaara, I mean you are like a brother to me, but Naruto was now freaking out. Not like that, you idiot. Gaara sighs and smacks his forehead. Oh, Naruto replies. I love you like a brother. Anyway, but you need to man up. You didn't flinch at facing Madara, and you are telling me you are too scared to ask Suki if she wants a real relationship. This is after you proposed to her, by the way. Gaara finishes. Yeah, I guess when you put it like that it sounds kinda silly. He mutters. It does. Now go talk to her. The Kazekage demands. Yeah, wish me luck. He heads off. Good luck. Gaara calls out as Naruto leaves. He stops at the flower shop first. Maybe Ino could help. She knew about these types of things. Did you and Suki have a fight? The blonde woman looks up at him. What makes you think that? He gulps slightly. Most men only get flowers as apologies or for special occasions. The other blonde shrugs. Well, we didn't exactly have a fight, but I want to do something special for her. Which flowers do you think would say? I want to be with you. Naruto blushes. Red roses would be the safest choice, and no one can really mistake their meaning. She offers. Great, so I'll go with that. Naruto smiles at that. How many would you like? Ino looks at him curiously. A dozen, I guess. Surely, that had to be a good answer, Naruto thinks to himself. A dozen is a good choice. Ino assures him and sells him the flowers. Thanks. He quickly dashes home. Suki, he calls out once he's inside. I'm in the kitchen, came the immediate response. Naruto heads to the kitchen. He saw that Suki was actually making ramen. He wasn't sure if that was her version of letting him down easy or if Suki's version of getting him flowers. You don't eat ramen like ever. Naruto couldn't help but feel more than a little stunned at this development. You do though. She turns around and smiles shyly. Here, these are for you. He awkwardly hands them to her. Thanks. She sniffs them and smiles more. Well, that was a good sign, he guessed. Damn it. Why couldn't this be easier? It'd be so easy when he had her against the wall. They're beautiful. She comments because they were, and she wanted to break the silence. Just like you then. Naruto grins. You're sweet. Suki shakes her head in amusement. But you hate sweets. That couldn't be a good sign in the blonde's mind. You're the only exception. I can't hate you. Believe me, it would have made things easier in the Sound and while I was traveling with Team Hawk, if I could have. She says. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be reassuring or not. You want to hate me. Naruto looks down at his feet. It'd be better if I did. I keep hurting you. She murmurs. Only because you keep leaving. He argues. Sometimes I wonder if you aren't a bit of a masochist. Suki tilts her head thoughtfully. Not really, but if that's what it takes to keep you. Naruto trails off. Keep me? She asks. I mean we are getting married anyway. Can't it be real? Naruto questions. Though, I wasn't sure. I thought it might have been you going Kyuubi. She mutters. A little bit, but it was also me acting on my feelings. Maybe in a more animalistic way than is healthy, but yeah. The blonde could feel his face burning with embarrassment. Nothing about our relationship has ever been healthy. Suki laughs. I guess not. Naruto agrees. I can't believe you actually got me flowers. Like we are normal or something. Suki actually giggles at that. Well, what did you expect? He asks. Kunai's honestly. She shrugs and smiles. Damn, should have thought of that, but I thought you liked the flowers. Naruto looks at her in confusion. I do. They're perfect. She murmurs. So do you want to? He asks warily. For the record, this is a horrible idea. But yes, I want to be with you. Suki leans in, till their foreheads were touching, and lightly brushes her lips against his. It's not a horrible idea, but I want to be with you too. Naruto deepens the kiss, pushing her until she was sitting on the counter. We can't even agree on if this is a good idea or a bad idea. She murmurs. You'll come around eventually. You are just stubborn, but I'm more stubborn. Naruto chuckles. I can't argue with that. She smiles. Love you. He smiles back. Naruto, don't make me say that. She suddenly jumps off the counter as if she was going to bolt. Suki, what's wrong? He looks at her utterly bewildered. Everyone that I ever said that to is dead. Don't make me say it to you. Suki's eyes were wide with horror. Suki, that wasn't because you loved them. It was because the village isolated your family and your family plotted a coup. It had nothing to do with you loving them. He tells her, let's not test that theory. Suki pleads with him. You're kidding me. Naruto blinks. I'm not. She snaps at him, sharing and flashing. Suki, it's okay, you don't have to say it. The fact you are freaking out about it so much tells me all I need to know. You can say the actual words later. Just don't run off again. He grabs her and pulls her into her arms. Thank you. Suki snuggles into his arms. So you still have the bandages. He looks down at her arms. She asks, did you want to try out that whole playing doctor thing? Naruto grins. Do you finally understand what that means? She snorts with amusement. Well, sorta. I get that it's some kind of erotic game. The blonde's face was likely redder than Suki's beloved tomatoes at this point. Maybe ... if we get to that point, we should start with the basics. That's probably a bit advanced for you. You have 2 modes, Oblivious Angel and Kyuubi. She says, and where's playing doctor fall on that scale? He asks. About 3/4 of the way between Angel and Kyuubi, with Kyuubi being closer. Suki answers without batting an eyelash. Oh, good to know. But I can so handle it, if that's something you want to do. Naruto crosses his arms defensively. Maybe. She tilts her head as if considering it. I can work with maybe, he says. By the way, don't think because you gave me flowers that you are getting that automatically. Suki rolls her eyes at him. Oh, so now you are going to pretend you don't want it. Who was the one who thought and moaned my name? He taunts her. That was not playing fair. It was Suki's turn to blush. All's fair in love and war, and we definitely are both. He kisses her. That's true. She murmurs and kisses back, running her fingers through his hair.